Hey Rachel, how you doing?
Hey, Ken, I am awesome. How are you?
I'm doing great. I've had a fantastic day. I've been so excited for us to connect today and share with people what we have going on.
Mhm.
Um, and so we are LightWorx, and we are here to share the inner light activation and help turn that on in other people as we've done for ourselves. But I think it's important that people not just know the name of what we do, but who we are, how we got to where we are, and what type of gift we're going to be bringing to the community here starting next week. And I think it's important. I'm a gentleman, and so I believe ladies should go first. And so, Rachel, could you please just share who you are, what you're about. Um, how did you get to where you are right now, and what empowers you to be the bringer of this inner light activation to others?
Yeah, Ken, that is a really big question, and I'm gonna do my best to keep it short and simple because I do really want people to understand how during this time in the world right now it is so important for us to, as leaders, for all leaders, to activate this inner light in us. And I think what we're doing is so powerful, and I'm so excited, and I have so much passion to share this with the whole world. And we are starting in Charlotte, North Carolina. And so why do I feel so passionate about doing this? And it really comes back to my story, where I came from and where I am today. And I feel like I have an obligation and a responsibility to help other people who may be in a position right now where they feel this desire to step up as leaders, to really activate that inner light and to be the best that they can possibly be, to share their passions with the world. Maybe they're even just trying to discover what their passion is. And my journey has been one of high highs and low lows. And it
Hmm.
started, I've been an entrepreneur since I was 19. I owned a pet resort for many years. And then I opened a personal training studio. I was a personal trainer for many years. That was my passion. Like I loved that, like nobody's business. I was also a CrossFit coach. I got into Olympic weightlifting. I was super passionate about that, helping people build their confidence, lose weight, get in shape, feel great. And one day it was over a process of a period of time, but I had a major health issue hit me, myself personally. And even though I was doing all the right things in the gym, and I was exercising and I was eating well, I was, weighing and measuring my food, all those crazy things that
Oh
I
yeah.
did back then. you know about that. But my emotions were running wild. I was under a great deal of stress. And at the time, I still owned the pet resort and I had three small kids and I was juggling multiple businesses. And I wasn't managing my stress very well. In fact, managing my stress was going to the gym and working out even harder. And so I had this physical breakdown in my body. And I ended up having to close my fitness center and stop coaching CrossFit and stop going to CrossFit. And that was such a pivotal moment in time in my life because I felt
Mm.
like everything that I loved had been stripped away from me. And what was the point of living? It was like I just remember like laying on the ground, like just in tears, asking God, why would you take this away from me? Like, this was my passion. This is what I love. Like, I thought that this was what I was here on this earth to do. And luckily for me, during that time when I was working with clients, they would come in and I would see that they had a need for other things. So I did become a life coach and I became NLP certified and I was working a little bit in the holistic health area. And so when I went to my doctor and he said, Rachel, you are going to spend the rest of your life in and out of hospitals because you are a total mess.
Mm.
I basically said, I'm going to go home and heal myself because I had a basic understanding of what it would take to heal myself. I don't know if it was just this inner rebel in me or whatever it was. And that's what I did. I went home and started working really hard on healing myself. And I had to work on the emotional piece and I had to heal my emotions and I had to learn who I was and I had to learn to love myself. All of that. I had to learn how to manage stress. I didn't even know what it means to manage stress. When the doctor says you have to manage stress, I'm like, what does that even mean to manage stress? So, long story short, I really went to work on healing myself on all levels, mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually. And that brought me to a place where I began working with clients with my life coaching practice. And I married my passion for travel and adventure with life coaching. I formed Earth and Soul Adventures in the beginning of 2018. Um, and then as COVID happens, we didn't have the ability to travel. So I ended up doing some contract work for my mentor who was building a healing center. Then I really got into the holistic health side of things and learned how to do muscle testing to correct interferences in the body. And all of this kind of came back full circle. So when I really decided to start offering retreats again, and transformational travel adventures again, I have a bigger offering now for people where I really want them to help people activate their inner light. And this is really for leaders. This is for people who know that they are here for more than just to
Yes.
live an average life. This is for people who've like raised their hand and said, I know there's something more and I want it. And I want to help those people activate that inner light so that they can be mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually in alignment so that they can go out there and do the work that they've been called to do. And maybe they're trying to discover what that is. And the one thing I know to be certain is that your purpose is going to drop into you and show up, and you're going to be the most impactful in the
Oh,
world
yes.
when you have all of those things in alignment, when you have the mental, emotional, physical, spiritual. I thought that being in the gym and coaching clients to lose weight and get in shape and feel confident was my life's purpose. And I didn't know that it was so much bigger, but I was out of alignment on the spiritual, emotional, mental piece. So it's been a journey of me bringing all these pieces together. And now that I have them, I'm here to share them with the world and people who are ready to take their lives to the next level. So that's me. Thanks for letting me go first,
No,
Ken.
yeah, getting to that next level. No, that's great. I think that was a great share, by the way, because without the experience, without the ups and downs, without the challenges, there's no growth, there's no pain, there's no seeking. And like you said, leaders and people who are waking up into realizing they need to be a leader, right? We need leaders in every home, and we've got so many people that are absent from leadership at work, in their careers, in their businesses, and we're just falling by the wayside, one after another, and we're seeking purpose and we can't seem to find it. But it's there. We got to help you find it, and it's okay. It's all about activating and going deeper. And what I love about what you do is we're a perfect combination about how we show up and what we can deliver in a congruent manner, where people are going to this expert for this and going to that expert for that, and they're not putting the pieces together because it's just disconnected. And humans don't operate in disconnected manners. Everything is connected, so we need a connected opportunity to grow all at the same time. So thank you for that. I appreciate
Yeah.
it. That's
And
awesome.
I think that we've been taught that we're just a physical body, right? And we're so much more than just a physical body. We're an emotional body, we're a mental body, we're a spiritual body, and we are a physical body. But alignment happens when we're in balance with all of those. And so if somebody's experiencing depression or anxiety or all of the different things that people are experiencing in the world right now, it's not enough to just take a pill, right?
Mhm.
It's not enough to just work on the physical level. You have to work on those other levels at the exact same time. And so this is really a program, activating the inner light, that is about all of that, about bringing all of those pieces together to create a whole being.
Absolutely, absolutely. Um, so on my end of the spectrum here, what am I bringing to the table? Well, who am I? What am I about? I think I'll start there. Um, I've been lots of things, and I think that's what makes us very special, both of us, if we've worked in various capacities. And so, kind of starting in my teenage years, I joined the military. I ended up going into special operations. I was in Ranger Battalion and other specialized units throughout my career. I saw a lot of things that I don't like to talk about. I saw a lot of great things and worked with a lot of amazing people. I served with giants. I served with superheroes, literally walking superheroes I could touch. I was considered one of them. Never thought of myself as one, but I felt honored to serve with those women and women and men in the units that I had the capacity to serve in, and was blessed to come home alive. Um, and so that set a tone for me. The military was a great opportunity for me to step into some power that I didn't know I had. Even getting through basic training wasn't that easy for me. I had to go to fat boy camp in basic training. A lot of people have these grandiose stories about them going into the military and becoming this huge hero or whatever. Mine sucked. All right. I went into the military. I was in basic training. They said, "You're not meeting the minimum standard to get out of basic." So I had to stay in basic for another 2 weeks to get my strength up to meet the standard. That taught me something. When you get a chance, you take it, you step up to it, and you don't quit. You know. And so from there, I went into my career, and I had a great time. But when it was time to go, it was time to go. I wanted to have a new story in life, and so from there, when I got out, I started doing some contract work, around the Beltway and the DC metropolitan area, because that's where I was living anyway. So all the three-letter agencies are out there, so I was able to work with some of those agencies to share my skill sets until I realized I was really just done with that. I was done. I was looking for something else. And next thing you know, I ended up starting a mortgage company. I did that, and then had to shut that thing down when we went through the major financial crises through the 2008 era. I suffered through that, lost a lot of physical things. And it taught me a lot about not attaching myself to those kind of things. And then I went into using some of my technical skills that I had learned in the military, and started working in network engineering, and helping design and facilitate those networks for major corporations all over the world, which was a joy. But at some point, it just ran its course, and then I went from that into sales of that type of skill set, and just selling the tools and all the things. And then I got sick of sales, because the sales pig is never fed enough. It just wants more, and it wants more and more, while you get less and less. And so I figured that out within a few years and said, well, this is going nowhere, so I'm going to let this go. And throughout that time, as I was transitioning, we became pregnant with our first child. We weren't even trying to have children, me and my wife. We didn't think it was something that we wanted to pursue. We had already been together for 8 or 9 years, but it was kind of the agreement that we weren't looking to do that. And God saw fit for that to be different. And so on the night that we found out that we were pregnant with our first child, I had a heart attack that night. We were already in the second trimester, which was really shocking for two people who weren't planning on ever having children. Like, we're kind of deep into this, till we can't bail. We got to do this. And so I was up doing what fat boys do, because throughout that time, as I was running that mortgage company, I was super stressed. I wasn't sleeping. I would be up for 2 to 3 days at a time. I was hyper vigilant. Everything was 0 to 100. I was way overweight. I was morbidly obese, over 300 pounds. I was sick, stressed, tired. I was just exhausted, but I couldn't tell anyone. I was in chronic fatigue. But who could I tell? I couldn't tell my wife I was in chronic fatigue. I couldn't tell the people that were working for me or who I was working for. I just had to get up and do. That's kind of how I was programmed. I'm an action kind of guy. And we'll figure out the rest later. You know what I mean? But it came to my detriment, as it does for many of my clients who I attract, that tend to be a lot like me in those ways. And I've overcome chronic fatigue twice in my life, and you have to do it holistically. There is no other way out, period. And the sooner that I help people accept that fact and fate, they can course correct themselves and rise to the highest vibration possible to achieve the most they've likely ever achieved in their life. Because whatever got them to where they are isn't going to get them to where they need to go, because it's broken them down, just like it broke me down. We're trying to brute force it. We're trying to just lean in. We're trying to suck it up and just make it happen. And what won't hurt you, make you stronger, is complete crap. It doesn't, especially if you don't learn from it. And so Essentially, I started working on my health once I knew we were pregnant. I had to figure something out. I mean, I had that heart attack that night on my living room floor while my wife was sleeping in the bed with my son in her belly. So I struggled on that floor and found my way out. It was hard. I had to breathe through it. I heard what to do, and so I took those instructions from the power that gave me those instructions, and it saved my life. Um, but the next day, I had to get to work. I had to figure out how to get out of the disposition I was in, and how did I really get here? I didn't get there not trying not to get there, right? I didn't blow up to over 300 pounds trying not to be 300 pounds. And I just had major metabolic dysfunction in my body that I had no clue how to fix. I had no clue how the lifestyle factors I was putting in play just weren't working for a 38-year-old man anymore. And it nearly shut me down and took me off the planet. So I made some goals. That's the way I work. I put it on paper. I started executing. I hurt myself in the process of trying to go too hard too early. Had to figure out a new way to change the old way. Like my body won't do that anymore. So I have to figure out a new way. And I didn't know where to turn. I was lucky to find breadcrumbs here and there and started putting these breadcrumbs together, the right books, the right guy, the right person just giving me a nugget of information in a forum from my fitness pal when it was still in beta mode, when all they had was forum back then, right? Before it was this big blown out app that it is now. And I was blessed enough to get that information. I continue to receive information that way to this day. I attract the right things at the right time to put together synergistic opportunities to create a path of opportunity and success. And it's something that I share with my clients. It's one of my most creative abilities that I have. And it takes you years to figure out what you got sometimes, and then appreciate what you have, and then how to leverage it appropriately. But I made the goal. I was well under the goal of losing 100 pounds by time my son was born, which was literally 6 months later, right? I had figured some things out. But I was still a baby in that process. I still had more to learn about the body. And so over the past 15 years, since that journey has started, I have mapped every system in the human body. I have been to too many schools on wellness and nutrition and holistic health at this point. Um, and the best thing about it, why do I go to so many depths, is because I don't believe in dogma. I don't believe in every scientific study. I believe in putting your boots on the ground and finding out what actually works.
Yes.
That's what's most important, because everything out here can be tainted. Everything on the web can be tainted, but what cannot be tainted is true experience of development, of you doing the work and executing. I have literally done every diet. I've been carnivore before carnivore was even talked about. I've been paleo. I've been so-called vegetarian and all the various forms of vegetarian. I've been fruitarian for a while. You name it. I've done that. And what I've learned is there are laws of compensation. There are so many beautiful ways to organize things for the betterment of you. And what's most important is that you organize it for yourself, and that you work with someone, if you don't know what to do, that can help you feel strong in that walk of testing, measuring, assessing, and getting the proper recommendations. But we can't heal the body physically alone, just like you said earlier. It has to be a combination, which is why I'm so happy that I'm here to do that work. So showing up every day for my clients and helping them realize my philosophy and how I go about helping them heal themselves. I am a healer, but I'm my healer. Okay. You are your healer. And I want to help ignite the healer inside of each and one of you. I don't want to carry that responsibility to be your healer. I'll be your guide. I'll be your practitioner, and I'll be your coach. I'll be your confidant. And eventually I will be your friend. And hopefully for life, because what you can gain in the opportunity of going deep and doing the work and showing up and truly expressing your inner light activation, it is a beautiful thing to see people wake all the way up,
Yeah.
not just pieces, but owning it and stepping into their light and then choosing to become a beacon of light for other people. This is what LightWorx inner light activation is all about. For the leaders, the ones who are willing to put up their hand and say, I'm ready to go deeper, I'm ready to go further. I know that I'm lacking. Something is missing. You may not be able to put your finger on it yet, but I guarantee it's because you don't have synergy. You have not connected the dots. I have been able to connect the dots. You've been able to connect the dots, Rachel. And when we put these all together, it's just a beautiful picture for those that are willing to step up and lean in and activate themselves and stand in that light boldly so others can see what's possible, because so many of us are trapped, or so-called think we're trapped. We don't know where to look. We're depressed more than ever. I've overcome PTSD, anxiety, depression, all the freaking metabolic syndrome problems that you can probably think of, all the hormonal issues you can probably think of, all the fungal issues you can probably think of. Been there and done it. All the inflammation and pain. I'm in a 51-year-old body and I get to move like I'm 25. It's a blessing. It is a strength. It is a power. It is something that I want each and everyone in life to be able to experience for their entire life. And I know you do too, because you've done it, and I had the blessing to be able to help you a little bit along your journey and to see what you're made of. And you're no joke at all. You face it head on. And that's what we want to show other people how to do, how to stand up and face it head on.
Yeah.
What does that really mean at the end of the day? Who are we? We are the people that overcome.
Yes.
Do you want to be an overcomer or not? Because we have done it and we're continuing to do it.
Yeah.
And we're happy and thrilled to bring this to our local community right in downtown Charlotte twice a month. Rachel and I will be there, divine masculine, divine feminine, working in synergy to lift you, to help you grow, to unlock the doors, to let you express, to let you do things in confidence that will only stay in that room, and do it with a few other people who also are sharing that same feeling and same need and need to get out here and activate at a different level. So I'm going to show up and deliver the highest magnitude of wellness opportunities to connect the dots to the amazing work that Rachel's going to do with the emotional intelligence and spiritual intelligence that we have. We're going to show you how they intertwine, how they absolutely play a part with each other, and how you can get the tools and resources and approaches to design your life in a completely different manner that can set you up for success to overcome any obstacle that you come up against in life.
Yeah, I think overcome is the key word here, because there's absolutely nothing that cannot be overcome if you have the right support, if you have the right tools, if you have the right guidance. And I think we both have overcome significant challenges mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually. You mentioned depression. I mean, there was times where I was significantly depressed. I was one of those who was on depression medications. I was on anxiety medications. I was on Adderall. I mean, I was on all of it. And something in me just knew that that wasn't right, and that I could be my own guru. Who knew?
Right.
And I think I learned that we are sovereign beings and that we have way more power than we've ever acknowledged or known. And that's what the inner light activation is. It's activating that inner knowingness in you, that you have the power to be your own guru, that you can overcome absolutely anything, and you can rise to the occasion, and you can live that life that you've always dreamed of living. And so we're going to provide you the foundational tools that you need in order to make that happen. And this is going to be a journey we're going to take for the rest of the year, like Ken said, every 2 weeks. And we're going to show up, and we're going to give absolutely everything that we have, holding absolutely nothing back. We're going to give all of our hearts, and we have 2 really big hearts, and we love humanity, and we believe in humanity, and we want to see humanity live their purpose and come together as a community and activate and light up all of Charlotte. I mean, that is my goal, is to light up Charlotte and beyond.
Absolutely. We're going to light it up. We're going to show up, and we're going to show out. So you need to come be here with us. This is not about being on a video screen. This is about being in person, chest to chest, face to face, mano a mano, digging in, blocking, tackling, passing. We're going to do the work. We're going to hold you accountable. We're going to love on you. I hope that doesn't scare you, because we are going to love on you, because love heals all things. Don't forget, this will begin soon. We want you in the grips of this. We want you to show up and blow up. So come on in, ask the questions you need to ask, amazing vision that we've been working together on to bring to light, and we can't wait to start executing. So reach out, we'll answer your questions, we'll show you exactly how to get started and what it's all about, a little more fine details. That's just the math, okay? That's just the math. That's not a big deal. The big deal is commitment. We are looking for the leaders who are ready to commit to themselves, commit to their families, commit to their opportunity of growth now, and they're ready to stop waiting. You've probably been on the bench a bit too long, like so many. It's time to get off the pine and go do work. And we'll see you next time. Anything else you'd like to
Sweet.
say, my dear?
No, I just, honestly, just coming from my heart, I'm really excited to be bringing this. Like you said, it's time. It's like it's time. It's time for me to be sharing my light with the world in a bigger way, because I do feel like I have a responsibility for all the things that I've overcome and how I've healed myself in so many ways. And I want to show up humble and just share my heart with humanity and just show you what's possible. And I believe whatever dream it is you have within you, you can bring it to life.
Absolutely. So you heard the lady, you heard what I had to say. We're absolutely waiting for you. We're looking to see you show up. We're going to deliver. It's going to be power, pure, utter power. And we're not playing. We can't wait to deliver. I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about the first session because I know how we're going to lean into this. Um, so come on out, Charlotte. Stand up. We start very soon. Just reach out and let us know what you need to know to make your decision, because we're looking for commitment. We want people to be in the throes of this for the entire year. We have special events set up outside of our regular cadence of every 2 weeks of connecting and showing up with our homework assignments and all the good things, um, and truly delivering for ourselves, right? If you care, share. If you care, share this with someone that you know, who maybe you want to come with you, maybe someone that you know is already down. Maybe you don't need this, but someone that you do know does. And they've been on the sidelines for too long. They're stagnated in life. They haven't figured it out yet. Lean in. We're here to serve. Come check us out, and we will help you out. All right. Inner light activation is what it's all about. Thank you so much. Peace and blessings to you all. And we'll see you next time. Bye bye.